Hello, everybody, and welcome back to HHS Esports. Today on Team Chat, I'm joined by all females. Which can I say? This is every gamer guy's dream. Like, like I'm gonna be honest. Every gamer guy in the history of ever has wanted to do this, so it's an honor. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? I
Sure,
we should.
I'll go
Thank you.
first. I'm Vicky, also known as Something Vicky. Woo!
I'm London. I don't play many competitive games, but I do play League.
I'm also a pretty big fan of League. My name is Hannah. A lot of people in the community call me Atalanta, but it's weird if personal friends call me that. So Hannah.
Great. Sorry, we should have planned this out
no,
better.
I was done talking.
All right, cool. We should have planned this out better, is what I'm slowly learning. But today on the podcast, viewer discretion is advised. We're going to be talking about some maybe sensitive topics to certain people. It's women in gaming, and there's a really nice side to this and a really dark side to this that I was very interested in. And a good thing to talk about right away. When I asked you guys in the Discord server about this, there was some mixed responses. How do you guys feel about that?
It's a little awkward for me. I'm not trained as a girl to have a voice in the community for gaming. It's always like being shut down whenever we try to speak up. And anybody who tries to speak up for us, like any guys, are immediately called simps. So it is like weird, but I appreciate it being on here today.
I definitely found what happened the other day a bit weird and awkward, and I felt a bit uncomfortable, but I do feel lucky to be on here.
I just had more hopes for some of the guys that they weren't gonna not do that. Maybe I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay
I like the moment I put that in the server, I immediately thought, oh, this is a bad idea.
I'm so used to it at this point. Like, I'm not gonna say it's okay because it's not, but that's very mild compared to what I see every day.
Yeah.
Especially in League.
Yeah,
League is so bad.
Yeah, and
but I did expect more from like
sorry.
people that we knew. Don't apologize for them, Sean.
Okay, cool. Oh man, I'm gonna look like such a simp. I'm slow. Like, so when I thought about this idea, I really wanted to play my cards carefully because on one hand I could look like a misogynist, and on the other hand I could look like a simp. So I'm like trying to find a middle ground.
Right now, to any people that might be watching, if you call Sean a simp, you are just as bad as any of those toxic guys in the community that we'll be talking about. Because if somebody is giving us a voice to talk and we're taking that, how does that make him a simp because he's trying to understand us better?
Yeah, that just makes him a nice person.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's able to talk to girls, and you're not. You know, keep that insecurity to yourself, please.
I'm honored. I'm so honored. So anyway, but yeah, let's delve into that a little bit more. That you guys said like you were so used to hearing people say like cringe like that. Do you guys have any like personal stories of like the first time you heard that and how like it might have changed you to how you are now, or just like how you've gotten used to it is a better way to put it?
I can't remember the first time because I've been playing since I was before I could. I don't even remember the first like time I installed League. It's been nearly my whole lifetime. But I will say, like, I remember specific incidents that maybe even happened 5 years ago that I'll still remember. Like somebody telling me that I bought my account because I couldn't be this good. And at the time I thought it was a compliment, but that is like that's disrespectful to say like you just can't play good because you're a woman. There's no other reason. That's not your account. Like you're scripting, you're getting boosted. I hear that a lot. But it was like that I didn't even own the account was just a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, but shut up.
Yeah. I only started playing a year ago, so I do remember a lot of the stuff that's happened. I remember one of my first experiences with it was when I was in a solo game by myself without any of my friends. It was one of the first solo games I'd ever gone into. And immediately there was someone saying that my summoner looked like a girly summoner. And that I was playing a girl champ, so then they immediately started picking on me. That Yeah, that wasn't very fun.
Yeah, Vicky, you're from the Siege community, which I've heard is awful. Do you have any like awful stories?
I there's so many. The best way I can describe it is I can only play with friends now. Like I have to be in a group because the first time I played by myself in like a quick match or something, I got in and I gave a normal call out and they immediately heard me and it was so like it gave me so much anxiety because everyone like they had to point me out and I already have so much like social anxiety. So as soon as like these group of guys just like point me out like, oh, it's a girl, like go back in the kitchen or something. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Ooh.
get something
That
better to
Bro,
say.
they
That's
could at
so
least be a little
dumb.
more original.
I
I
Yeah.
know.
hear get back to the kitchen, get off the game. I hear that every day. Like you're not being funny.
Yeah,
Is
like the one I've heard, like, isn't the food burning in the kitchen? You should go get it. Like, it's so unoriginal.
I'm confused cuz like what makes me as a woman like how am I less capable of moving a mouse and clicking it and pressing buttons on a keyboard less than you? Like I'm just as capable. It just
It
doesn't.
doesn't make sense.
There's no scientific explanation for why we should be roasted. I will say like the saying that girls are not as good in games as guys are. It comes from the stereotype that girls don't play games, which isn't even true anymore. I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought. Right, but girls aren't like encouraged to play games, and that's why like when we've tried, we get like shut down. Like you suck, you're a girl, get off the game. And then it's like, okay, well I guess if this is what it's like, then I won't play.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of girls are not seen playing. But I also want to say that a lot of girls play, and guys don't even know it, and they think that girls don't play because they change their names to make them more masculine, to like hide their identity. They won't speak in Valorant voice chats. It's just like you won't see girls playing the games because the outcome is not fun for them. So they will just play and hide their gender. But a lot more girls play than you think.
Yeah, isn't like one of the best Valorant teams in the world all female?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I asked people in the Smash chat earlier. I was like, "Hey, are there any questions you guys have?" And someone brought up something about like Valorant as an all-female team that's like one of the best in the world. I don't know if that's true by any means.
I don't doubt that. I've seen a lot of female Valorant players that are good. But like from like publicly, what I know of have been like Cloud9, right? All males.
Yeah.
In League 2, like all the professional teams are men. And the first time there was a woman professional team, they were like laughed at. They were called like jokes, and it was really sad to see. They weren't as good as the men, and I will admit that. But I think they were just like propaganda, right? They looked cute, and they played to get attention for Riot, and that like sucked. They weren't even bad, but compared to like everybody in that pro leagues, they didn't match their talent, and people used them as a reason for excusing their behavior when they say girls can't play games, like girls suck and they need to go back to the kitchen, what we always hear.
Yeah, that seems pretty awful.
I just don't get how you can use that as a way against girls because obviously they just weren't at that skill level and obviously Riot just wanted to use it to their advantage. But guys will just believe whatever they want if it's on their side.
So many guys are worse than girls too. Like it's just the player base, right? There are a lot of guys that are better than girls and there are a lot of guys that are worse than girls in the game. It's just how there is because there's so many guys. But I have never ever seen anybody make fun of a guy for playing the video game badly because he's a guy.
Yeah.
Never. So it's just a misogynistic thing, clearly.
Yeah.
I was losing against a guy one time, and so they were like, haha, I bet you're a girl, and I'm just going easy on you because you're a girl. And bro, no.
Yeah, no, that's just cringe. Like,
what was the worst thing a guy has said to you on a video game?
Me? Honestly, probably nothing worse than just swearing and trying to tilt me as hard as he could. And just calling me shit at the game.
Yeah, Vicky, I'm gonna ask you the same question. You come
I'm
from the
just gonna
Siege community.
I'm just gonna say the worst thing a guy has ever said to me was, "It's not anywhere as bad," and I'm saying this as a joke. This little
Oh, was it the
kid,
Carrot Kid?
the carrot kid. I hate
Yeah,
him.
I heard about
I
the
hate
story. You got called a
Okay,
carrot.
okay. I'm playing, a good game. I'm on bank, and I am just doing great. I think I'm going like 4-0, and I'm like about to ace, and this kid's like, "Oh, he's on your left," or like something, or like he was like screwing with me the whole game. And he was like, "He's on your left. He's on your left." And like this whole game, he was screwing with me. And I don't listen to him this time because all the other times I died because of him. And he was actually on my left. And this kid's like, "Oh, you carrot, like go back in the kitchen and blah blah." I'm like, "You're calling me a carrot? Like, how'd you get carrot? Like, why are you calling me a carrot?"
Uh,
But yeah, I
That's
hated
just
that. I hated
yeah,
that.
that's rough.
I hate little kids who play video games and then they're like, "Oh, you're bad," and blah blah, and I'm gonna get upset at you because you're a woman. Like, oh, thank you. I need to hear that right now.
wow, so kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you obviously all have like some pretty nasty stories about stuff like. Oh wait, Hannah, what about you? Sorry, I completely skipped over it. Like, what's the worst thing you've been called?
Somebody said that they hope I get raped.
Jesus,
Jeez.
that's so
I
that's
think that's the
awful.
worst that I can think of off the top of my head. But there's a lot. I'm trying to keep it like PG. There's a lot of like nasty threats, like of things not even like to be toxic, but because I'm an object to them, so they just get to like say all the things they want to do to me, and oh, a really good way to scare the guys away? They'd be like, "Oh, I bet you're so hot. Like, give me your Snapchat." I'd be like, "I'm 14."
Oh,
Just like say like I'm underage.
ooh, yeah,
It'll
that's.
scare them off
Mhm.
right away. They won't talk to you again. That's
Um,
like my number one tip. But that's even like sad that you have to lie.
Yeah.
yeah. But you saying that reminded me of the fact I just said normal tilting shit. That the insults like really bad ones. Those have just become normal. That I just kind of realized that.
I feel like it does become a problem when you're used to being called a washing machine. And I think that's something that like as a male I really try to avoid. Maybe that's the simp talking, but I feel like I want to help out as much as I can. Um, but you guys were talking about earlier like representation of females in specifically League, which is really big. How do you guys feel about like other esports representations of women, or not even just
Oh,
esports, but like gaming in general is probably a better way to
you
put it.
mean like how the champions might look like, the way that the women are portrayed in their underwear?
Yeah, like in
Possibly.
gaming in general,
That
like women are
oh my
kind of
That's
god.
great.
yeah.
I mean, I wish it wasn't like that. Yeah, I mean, there's no other. I mean, what else do I say? Like, it's sexualized and it's uncomfortable. Kind of encourages the behavior to like treat women badly.
Yeah. Like they're only there for to be eye candy. That's what
Yeah.
League encourages.
That's fair. Um, I think the only game like out of our league that doesn't do that is Siege, because Siege everyone like looks pretty well equipped.
Where's the normal clothing? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are eye candy by any means. Well, that's actually false.
Ayana, I'm just.
Yeah,
I mean, it's okay to be eye candy, but to like
Yeah.
put them in seductive clothing, like practically naked, and it's like just the women.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the guys need to be naked, but I'm saying like, okay,
yeah,
I'm-
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I get that. Like the guys aren't put to the same standard as the girls.
there's like there's like a joke that runs around. One of the champions that I main is Ari in League, and when she dies, she like You know what I mean.
Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
She like
sound.
bursts out this over the top moan, and it's like a meme at this point, but it's like, oh, I bet you only play Ari to like int and hear that. So, no, I don't. She's a really fun champion, but people just make a meme out of her and just sexualize her, even though like she's so much more than that. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
I could see how that can get annoying, and like again, I'm so sorry you guys have to go through that basically daily. And I again, told me not to apologize. I'm really sorry that the people in Discord did that. I really hoped we could get a level of professionalism beyond woman, woman. It's
Crazy
Yeah.
thing is, I know literally more than like I think I know all the guys who said that.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah, it is. I wasn't expecting that from them because usually the people that
Same.
I know personally and I choose to play with would never say stuff
Yeah.
like that, and they don't. Like, I guess they maybe they weren't thinking.
yeah.
I
I
won't.
mean, I
I w-
get that it was probably a joke, but it was just a bad joke.
Yeah.
there's no punchline. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
and when guys
punchline
are
is just,
like,
oh, you're a woman. Like,
the
wow.
effing woman stands for funny, bro. We get it. There's no effing woman. You know what else isn't a woman? You aren't. Shut the fuck up. Your virginity's showing.
Wow.
God.
Dang, you just ended so many people's careers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Jeez. All right. Well, something I actually wanted to bring up, uh, was like female streamers and how like
Yeah.
some of them portray females in gaming worse than others. Uh, some of them being like you guys brought it up, like dancing around like skimpy clothing. Specifically, Bella Delphine kind of gives gamer girls a really bad name. But
Okay, to be fair,
sorry, go on.
I understand why girls specifically will like wear certain kinds of outfits. It's the same reason why girls create OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
guys sexualize girls, we might as well profit off of that.
I
Like,
mean,
we're
I
not gonna
respect
change
the
the
grind,
licensing.
but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that is an outlook on life that you can have. I'm so sorry. Um, but like,
But another like female streamers in general, I'm a big fan of. Oh, maybe I wouldn't want to say that. I'm a fan of Pokimane. I like her content. I liked her before she was. She's really big right now, but even when she had only 1 million subscribers, like I watched her. I watched her stream.
mm,
Yeah.
And
Same.
she would get sexualized over every little thing. Like she'd stand up and say like, "Oh, I have to go to the bathroom," and she'd walk to the bathroom. Like
oh yeah,
she
there's like
wouldn't do anything sexualized, and everybody would like, "Oh my god, clip that! She's so thick."
yeah, there are
Oh, and like,
compilations on the internet of her just walking.
yeah.
That's kind
It's
of
just,
gross.
oh, I can't imagine. That must hurt for her to see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
I think she's better now because the Twitch community is pretty toxic. She moved on, and TikTok discovered her, and there's a lot of love from that community.
mhm,
I'm really happy for like seeing her growth and empowering other women. That's really cool.
definitely.
I've always liked it too.
So
And it sucks that we like. Sorry,
no,
I'll be
please
quick.
continue.
Like, nobody can admit that they liked her because everybody was like, "Oh, you're a 12-year-old tier 3 sub." Like, no, she just
Yeah.
like give her a chance. Like, she has good content and she's funny.
Yeah, I found her very entertaining. When I did watch her, which was a couple years ago, but like OTV and stuff, I still follow, and they're all very entertaining.
Of course.
Um, so like, oh man, sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. I had a question, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna spark conversation, and then it
That's
didn't.
my fault. I
It's fine. No,
totally
don't worry about
got.
it.
Mhm.
Oh, so this is a question I just ask a lot of people, and most males think so. But do you guys think that it's easier to grow on Twitch if you are a female?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Really depends what you do. If you feed into that stereotype, then probably.
Okay.
I really
But
don't
I
know.
will say, like, you have to acknowledge that people like Lily Pichu, people like Pokimane, they
Yeah.
work hard.
Mhm.
Like, maybe they wouldn't be so big if they wouldn't be so big if they were guys. But she's definitely like, she's worked to get to the top where she is.
Yeah. I respect that.
Yeah,
But
20.
don't blame the girls for that. It's the guys that choose to watch that kind of stuff. Like
Mhm.
and saying that women have life on easy mode from that. That's like
Oh, I hate
that
that.
makes me so angry. Guys have no idea what it's like to live as a woman. I don't think they would survive
So
a day.
genuinely upset.
Yeah, I do kind of agree that like it takes some what Lily Pichu did like what 3 24-hour streams like last year, something crazy like that. Um, like to get to where she is, and that's a lot of dedication to the craft. Um, I was really kind of banking on Fallon being here to give us stories, and then we could talk off of that. But it's fine. Um, but do you guys think there's any way to fix what the specifically with League, since you two do come from that community, is there any way to fix how people act towards you? Like, do you think there's like a step we could take in the right direction, or anything along those lines? Anything we can
I don't think
normalize?
toxicity is punished enough, in my opinion. I know a lot of people like lose their cool and they'll say something. Even people that are considerably my friends would get like, I know somebody who got permabanned because he said something really out of line, and I think that he should have been permabanned. Um, but even though like he's a nice guy, it is not okay to like make those mistakes and say like, oh, I'm not usually toxic. It was just like they were being really, really irritating. I had to put them in their place. That's not for you to do.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be put in their place, let Riot do their job um and just like be a decent human being. It's not hard. But at least in the near future, I don't see a solution. And the people complaining that people are being punished too easily for their toxicity, that's like anybody who says that is a toxic person. It's not hard to be to to not get banned. I've never
Yeah.
been banned, and I know somebody like just mute all because my friend's brother, he muted all from the first time he got the game, and in like 4 months he was on our level 5. At least if you can't say something nice, just don't say anything.
Yeah. It's so just like it's not that hard to be a good person.
Mhm. And I feel like that is a point of contention that a lot of guys. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, I don't play League, but I've heard horror stories about just everyone being toxic, not specifically men or specifically women at this point. Because I've talked to like Finn and Xander and Justin and Anderson, and they've all said like, oh yeah, no, League is literally the worst when it comes to toxicity.
Yeah.
Um,
League is just a very toxic game.
yeah, and I come from Smash, so like toxicity, like I'm used to it, of course, but it's a lot of like children being toxic, not like fully grown adults who, you know, it's kind of disgusting. But
I mean, I I want to keep things kind of nice, but I'm just gonna say the abbreviated version. Um, I've heard KYS multiple times just by doing my own thing and playing the game, not even inting or trolling. Just heard it.
that
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh,
oh,
um, but I've just heard KYS a lot throughout my
Oh yeah.
year of League. Um, I wasn't trolling, I wasn't inting, I was playing the game, and I just got it thrown at me.
Yeah. And like that's not even a female thing, although I do think
Yeah,
females hear threats a lot more often. It's just constantly
it's a League
backtalking.
thing.
It's more often I will it's very rare to get like a good game unless you're playing with friends, which I have done a lot more recently. I don't like going into ranked solo, especially, but
Same.
I also just don't like going into ranked. I'm unranked for the season right now, but also I just haven't been playing as much. But when I do, I'm always playing with friends. I never go solo because I just I just hate people and I don't like playing if I'm not with friends.
Yeah, same.
that's
It,
a very fair point. Yeah. Um,
it's just scary being alone.
I think that's a shame that like you have that fear. I don't think there's a single guy I know who's afraid to play his favorite game online. Um, or is like afraid of being called something online. Uh, and do you guys think there's a reason for that? Like, do you think it's because women are so foreign to some games, or like That sounds bad. Being foreign sounds bad, but it's the only thing I can think to say.
For me, I'm not scared. I'm just like, why would I put myself through hearing those things when I don't necessarily have to if I was playing with friends? It doesn't scare me to like hear that I'm a slut or a dishwasher. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Less of fear and more of just like being annoyed or being like finding it really obnoxious that you get called it kind of every day. Um,
I
sorry, go on.
definitely scared when I first started playing, and it's kind of just gone slowly down to pure annoyance and hatred for the community.
Oh, jeez. I can definitely see how that can get irritating, and I don't think I could ever put myself in those shoes. I've been called, um, all right, I've been called a lot of slurs in my time, but but it's just from guys being guys, and it's gross. But it's got to be terrible. Uh, but something I did want to bring up. Uh, so this is specifically from the Smash community, and I don't know if these could ever go into League or Siege or like Valorant or any game like that. But there's been a lot of talk of having female and minor only tournaments because of a lot of sexual harassment cases. Do you think like that would ever be a good idea to specifically have only female and only minor tournaments in some
No, I
locations?
don't think
Well,
so.
no,
It shouldn't be.
but also have like male and female tournaments like as well. Not
Is it
just
really
have it.
that much of a issue to like keep guys off of girls for a tournament?
Sad.
Then there needs to be kind of an intervention at that point.
I think sad.
That
Yes.
it becomes so like like guys act like they've never talked to a female before. As soon as they
Ooh,
get a game with them, they're like, "Oh, you're like a
They
completely new species to
they
me."
turn on
Oh
the
my
ape
god.
brain.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wanted to say
monkey
something.
brain.
I don't know if
Mhm.
y'all have TikTok, but there's that like audio going around that's like, oh, I want a gamer girl so bad. I want a gamer girlfriend.
Oh,
They just don't
Ah.
exist. And then
God.
somebody's like, oh, I'm a girl, and he's like, shut the f up. Like, name all the Call of Duties right now. Name every league champion right now. Which is like, it's funny, right? But it's
Mhm.
also like, it's like, yeah, why? If guys, I assume that these guys are not gay. Like, they seem very straight to me. But why would they say things that would just never land them a girl?
Yeah, it's hurting
It's
them
confusion.
more than it's helping. Like,
For
it's
those
like
who
their
watch
toxicity overpowers their want to
yeah.
actually find someone who likes them.
For those who are watching the VOD, take notes, please. I am vigorously taking notes. But yeah, like to that point, I do agree that like I feel like it is part of the culture at this point that it's just so normal to hate on women that it is slowly developing into just like, oh, woman, out of my country, into the kitchen. Like it's terrible that that's like a normal thing people are doing. Um,
I remember one time I was losing a game. I think my support was like, he's like 110 and like a few assists, but not enough to like make up for how much he fed. And I think they figured out it was a girl. Like, somebody said my name. They were like, oh, in chat they were like, Hannah, do you want blue buff? And I hate when people do that because then it like exposes my gender and everybody runs at me.
oh,
But like from then on we were losing the game, and it wasn't even nobody complained that we had a 110 support, but I was the problem. They were like, oh, it's because we're playing with a girl, like girls should not be on here. It's like, I'm doing fine, but you realize that there are like bigger issues at hand.
mhm,
I don't know, it's just confusing to me.
yeah. Do you guys have any issues in general that you guys want to address? Like anything that you had like in the back of your mind when I asked you guys to be on the show? Because if you do, please like say it, because I'm
Um,
already out of questions. So,
I do.
yeah.
Something that I was just brought up a few minutes ago that I was reminded of. The saying that isn't only really said in gaming, it's said all around when just talking about guys, but it is still said in gaming. Boys will be boys. Just like, don't mind them. Boys will be boys. Like, that doesn't give them an excuse.
Yeah, that's respect is sort of a thing that's been lost to
I
some
think that
gamers.
misogyny on girls was taught by a very early age. in elementary school when they were like, "Oh, you play like a girl." In middle school, when if you wore crop tops or leggings, you would be called down to ISS or suspended
Mm.
because what you were wearing was distracting the boys. And
Yeah.
just like sayings like you're a, excuse my French, but you're a pussy is like an insult. And then saying like, oh, grow a pair of balls,
Uh,
or that's like, I guess it is an insult, but the connotations is that you'd be stronger with a penis and you would be weaker with a vagina. And first of all, if you aren't pushing out like a basketball in
oh,
childbirth and
jeez.
bleeding out
No.
for every week of, well, 1 week a month for your whole life, and then if you get like kicked in the balls, which I bet that hurts, but like if you're gonna be in pain when you get some kind of forced onto like your genitalia, how is that stronger than mine?
Yeah, it
I'm not
sounds like
saying
consistent pain.
Yeah, man, this went down a rabbit hole I was not prepared for it to go down.
I'm not saying women are stronger than men. I'm just saying that like the way that men are portrayed as stronger is just invalid. It's incorrect.
Yeah,
I think that
it's
girls go through a lot more.
Definitely, and I think when you brought up like boys are gonna be boys, that is no excuse to act the way we do because I think to a point, every like most people, like everyone in the Discord at least, from what I know, was raised to be like very polite, and they've been polite for most of their lives, for well, as far as I know.
yeah.
I've known Justin for a while. I've only known Wilson for a little bit, but I know his brother, and he's the nicest guy on the planet. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said their names. Um,
Ooh,
Random people in the
random.
Discord,
Yeah.
who reacted that way. I've known some of them for a lot of my life, so to see that is kind of cringe, and I feel really bad that you had to experience that, and also the fact that you have been told for years, um, that boys are gonna be boys, girls just have to put up with it. That's probably one of the worst things you can hear because you probably lose hope at that point.
Yeah.
Um,
Something that um sorry, but
sorry, continue.
something that I've been said a lot that's been said a lot of my life by only guys. A girl has never said this to me, but sexism is dead.
Oh, I hate
Ooh,
that.
that's
They're
gross.
like,
Ew.
people say that feminism shouldn't exist when it's like, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. My guy, open your eyes.
Please just stop being so self-centered and realize you're being dumb.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really ugly personality trait for anyone to have.
I think in like real life, because this has happened, like in real life, there's just been so many like different events that have happened outside of just like, and it's everywhere. Like it's not just in like the gaming community, but like out in like school or something, there will be people who will just have some like nasty things to say that like I could never forget them because like some
Yeah.
of the things that they've said to me like have just been so like close to home or something, and it's always been guys. Like I've never heard a girl say like this type of stuff to me. Maybe they say it behind my back. At least they're saying it behind my back. I don't even care at that point. But like when someone says something to your face like, "Oh, you're a cow," or like something, like like when you hear that, or like you get like confronted about like how you look or like how you act, and like the standards or like the respect that guys has for at least me have like gone so downhill, like because a lot of the guys see me as like one of the guys now. Like usually they don't see me like, oh, that's like, one of like the girls who I know, like, they're like, oh, that's one of the guys, and I'm like, okay. But like as soon as they start making jokes about like, as soon as they, or I'm doing better at something than them, or like something's happening, they'll immediately point out that I'm a woman. They're like, oh, you're just doing better because you don't have a whatever. Like it will always be
Yeah,
something. And that's just happened a lot. And like, old friendships, like there've just been like really bad like arguments about just being respectful. Like I genuinely think the respect for people people that you have for another person, which, by the way, the fact that people just can't have respect for another human being is absolutely disgusting to me.
Mhm.
I hate that people just can't have the same respect that you would have for anyone else because of their gender or any other reason. I hate that. I absolutely hate it that we can't see humans as other humans. Like, I don't get it.
That's a very fair point. Um, and we've talked about a lot about like guys being completely awful to you, and again, up on behalf of all males, I'm sorry. It probably doesn't make up for it, but I'm sorry. Um, what has it been like? Because I'm guessing all of you have been through it. I sorry for assuming, but how many guys have like simped for you, and do you have stories about that? And
Oh
the train
god.
wrecks that
Oh
that's been.
god.
Um, I have had a lot. I've turned down most of the offers like that guys have had. Like they wanted to buy me skins, and don't get me wrong, I've let them in the past. But recently, it's just like I got my own money. You should just treat us like equally, like how you would treat a guy. Um, no, there are genuinely like, I think Sims is the funniest word in the English dictionary,
Yeah.
honestly, because like a lot of people have been told that they simp for me when they are just being my friend. They would say like, "Oh, you played that well." Somebody in chat would be like, "Simp," but that doesn't mean they're simping for me. They're just my friends. And like, just because somebody who was a guy bought me a skin on my birthday, doesn't mean they're simping for me. They were just being a good friend.
Um.
Um, what about you guys?
Uh. I don't really have any stories of guys I didn't know simping for me. I'm not a very online person. I don't really have social media all that much. But I do remember a time where a guy was being really sexist in a league game, and one of my guy friends that I was playing with backed me up and was trying to help me out, which a part of me wish he didn't do that because then immediately I was just told that I couldn't do anything without a man there and that he was simping for me.
But it's like I would have preferred that a guy would stand up for me, even though I know I can do it well myself. The fact that he's not letting it happen is really like I'm grateful for that sense. And
Yeah.
it sucks that a guy like that, people like that would have to counteract that and say, "Oh, he's simping." There's really nothing you can do. It's a lose-lose situation. If
Yeah.
if he doesn't say anything, then he's allowing it to happen. If he does say something, then he's a simp.
I'm glad he did say something, but it was also just as painful to hear that this guy friend that I love playing with and just being told, oh, he's a simp. You can't do anything without him. You're being carried by him because he's a man. So bad.
The only sim story that I can remember at this point is, of course, there have been like guys who, tried asking me out, but like I wouldn't consider that a simp. I would consider. So I was talking to this guy for like I think about a year, and we were just really good friends because we were in the same friend group. We were both really good friends, and I remember at some point, you know, I started dating someone, and he immediately became so sour towards me because I didn't
Oh.
choose him. And it was so upsetting to me because it was like, you are upset at me because I found someone who makes me happy. And it was like, because we were friends for so long and he bought me like one game and I bought him like three.
Ooh, that's
And
not
he was like,
cool.
I bought you this and we talked for hours and whatever. And I'm like, well, I thought we were friends. I thought we were like past like, us trying to get together or something. And
Mhm.
it was so heartbreaking to me that someone could like wait it out for about a year to just get that sour at me and literally ruin a whole friendship because I found someone who made me happy.
I
Yeah,
hate
that's.
guys that are like that. They're like, nice guys finish last. Is like
Ugh.
you don't like me because
Oh.
I'm not. Pick me, pick me, pick me. No. If somebody was saying that, they're not a nice guy because nice
Yeah.
people don't expect things from others when they do nice things. If he's only buying you stuff and like talking to you because he wants to date you, that's not, you're just being fake.
Yeah, that's kind of gross, and I'm not gonna act like I'm innocent. I was definitely an r/nice guy, and I was a neckbeard, fedora tipping. I was gross, all right. High school changed me, but
We're gonna talk about. Oh, high school changed you.
high
Okay,
school changed
Sean.
me. Okay,
Really?
shut up, all right.
You
I was
wanna tell them what you wanted me to buy you?
no, we're not gonna talk about
No.
that. No, we're not gonna
Okay.
talk about that.
Okay, we won't talk about that. I guess.
Bella
Oh, you
Delphine's
shouldn't have said
bathwater.
that.
Bella Delphine's bathwater is off the table. Oh, anyway,
That's not what it was, but okay.
we'll say that's what it was to protect the innocent. Vicky,
Okay.
Vicky,
Okay.
this is live. I hate you. We'll talk about this afterwards. Anyway,
Okay.
so anyway,
Anyway.
I've never been this flustered live before, so this is a great experience. Anyway, so
Oh, I want to say, like, apart from like, put the whole girl conversation aside for a quick second.
Uh-huh.
The person I was sophomore year is not the same person I was now, and I know that I'm gonna be very, very different when I head to college. Um, like high school will change you, but it's just like as you grow up, it's where you become an adult. So, like, it's not just high school. It's as you grow. What was the point of saying this? Anyway, next
Yeah.
question.
yeah, no, but I definitely get that, and the thing that sucks about everyone's situation, all of your situations, sorry, not everyone's, is that high school is like your very formative years, and you're kind of being told every day that you're not good enough, that it's because of something you can't control, you're not good enough. So I bet that like mentally does some stuff to you. Maybe gives you a cynical look on the world. Maybe makes you more depressed. I don't know if this study is true, but like,
I don't know if it's that deep. I've had more. Okay, I've had a lot more struggles in my life that are not based on me being a girl, and I understand like that. It's definitely a struggle. Like it's definitely that something that we go through. But like my main issues in life, I don't let being a girl affect me. It's genuinely like regular people issues that I try not to focus on. Like being a girl gamer is not how I define myself at in any way. Most people that don't know me well don't know that I play games. Um, because I don't. That's just not who I am. I'm a regular person who wakes up for school every morning. I go home. I do my homework. I go to bed. I play music. I sing a little, and then I'll go to bed and I'll repeat it.
For me,
So it's like,
oh,
yeah, yeah. For you, what?
um, it definitely, especially when I was younger and I was told a lot of things that are not true. I had a much more cynical look on men. It made me hate them. I had barely any guy friends, and I'd lash out at guys that were actually good people. And I hate looking back on those years.
hmm
But I can't ignore that that happened, and I can't ignore what was said to me and how I was told I was less than a man. I was told that I was supposed to be there for someone else,
Your
not for
anger is
myself.
justified completely.
And I'm so glad that I've grown into a better person and I realize not all men are horrid people. A lot of them are, but not all. And it's just, it's, I'd still definitely have a hard time. I have a harder time getting to know men than I do women just because of my past, but it obviously hasn't created too much of a distance, especially.
hmm
Oh, I will say, I'm the same way in terms of like most of my closest friends are girls, completely. Like the people that I trust the most are girls. But being in the gaming community has introduced me to a lot of like men that are my friends, and it changed a lot of things because I wasn't. I'm now like comfortable speaking with a man like I am a woman, and I'm glad for that because then I can see people more equally now.
Yeah, gaming definitely helped me with that. Helped me because a lot of the community is guys, so I had to get used to it.
I think for me, I used to be like real like I used to only be comfortable talking to girls because it was like, oh, she's like me. Like she will understand my problems. But like at some point I hit like a really bad point in my life where, like my mom married a terrible man And at that point, I had like such a terrible view on just anyone who would come in my life who was a man. And the one person who helped me out through the most was a guy who I met online, and I am so grateful that I'm still friends with him to this day. I was like, I don't know, 9, and he's like one of my closest friends, and I'm so thankful that I met someone like him because he was my age, and you know, that really opened my eyes to like I can talk to more than just girls, and so now I'm so much more comfortable talking to guys because at least online. In real life I don't talk to anyone, but online I can talk to guys a lot more easier like than with girls, mostly cuz I only play video games. But I don't know. I've always had good, and like relationships with guys. I've always had that personally.
And
And
that's
it's good
definitely
that we're
important.
better now. And I think that guys can be the same way. This is not just a girl thing.
Yeah.
If you like, let's see, if you want to like get more girls, if you want to pick up more girls, but you like, if you're just like a shitty guy, try not being a shitty guy. Try like connecting with girls that you find you're gaming with, and like befriend them. Like not force it, but like if you figure out how to like talk to a girl and see that she's just like anybody else, if you get used to that, you can actually like start treating people with more respect, and they'll treat you the same way, and they'll see you as a better person. Eventually, like, I don't know, don't just do this to get girls, but like if you want to improve your character, be
Yeah.
nice to people and like talk to people.
I mean, one of my closest friends is a guy. He's helped me through a lot of things, and he might be the person I trust the most, at least currently. And it's so weird sometimes remembering that he's a guy, almost. Because still, when I met him, I was getting out of a really bad relationship with a guy. So my view of men was just so bad. And we did not get along at first, and he openly said he hated me. So the friendship started off really, really bad, but then it just did a huge U-turn because we realized we can't keep hating each other for things that we didn't have control over.
Hmm.
That's a sweet story.
I say that's
I
really
love the enemies to
nice.
friends character arc.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
yeah, no. Where can I find this
Something
anime?
you'd pull out of a movie.
Can I get it on Crunchyroll? Anyway, sorry, that was really rude. I just you tell a really deep story, and I'm like, ha, funny. It's anime. Um.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the Crunchyroll awards, or was that just me?
Oh no, I said Crunchyroll. But anyway, so we have about 10 minutes left. Um, unless you guys want to keep going. But like seeing as if I probably don't have time to keep going. Do you guys have anything you would want to say? Like, if you had, because I might just post this 10 minutes on like Twitter or something. Uh, if you had to take like one statement to give to like any gamer you could, or like any gamer guy, like what would you say? What would be like your
Man,
statement?
I didn't prepare
Oh
myself.
God.
All
I
right,
want to say something deeper than like be a don't be a dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be an ass. Oh, sorry. I just like said.
You can,
It's okay,
dude.
we
It's
can swear, we can swear.
I literally put in the description when you said like, oh yeah, grow a pair of balls. It's different to be a pussy. I literally just put like, viewer discretion is advised. We're talking very sensitive topics.
My
Um,
bad.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you can like I said, like, you can swear on this. It's fine. It's everything is justified. Like, from what I've
The
learned
thing is, I'm
today.
talking about like what I've been experienced. If you want me to like sugarcoat it, I can do that, but it won't give you as much as a.
Yeah,
It
no,
won't show you what's like what we're really seeing.
yeah, I
It's
think
just like
sugarcoating it would
it's
defeat the purpose of you having you guys here.
clouding it.
Yeah, because I mean, if I wanted to make a statement on this, I could literally go on Twitter and say like, "Hey, girls, you're doing great. Don't listen." But like, the reason I had you on here was so we didn't get a sugar-coated answer. It was because I wanted people to see like, I don't want to say the horrors of it, but to see what really happens behind the scenes with you guys. And I think,
I think my biggest word of advice for like boys out there, um, specifically the gamers, I said this earlier. I know I mentioned it earlier, but like, if you're attracted to women, don't talk to them like they're dirt because they won't like you back.
Yeah.
None of them will like you back when you talk to them like that.
Personally, I have both advice for women in gaming and men. Um, Women that are in the gaming community, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this because, like we said, that kind of defeats the purpose. Um, we're told to go like that. They would assault us. They wish someone else would assault us. That we should just go kill ourselves. We we should just do these horrid things, and the horrid things should happen to us. And it's really painful. But the best I could say is if you truly enjoy the game and you truly enjoy doing what you do, please mute and try to get through it. Because if women just quit, that'll kind of show the men that they won. That and I don't want to show them that if they continue acting like that, we'll leave. I don't want to show them that we will leave because we won't. We're gonna stay.
Exactly. And
And
also to the yeah, sorry.
no, you can go.
Okay, to all the like ladies out there who are playing games. I had advice for the men, but this one's for the girls. Um, anybody who like hates on you, throws slurs or like sexist comments, they're just people who hate their lives and they're miserable with themselves. So they project their hate onto strangers on the internet. Don't let that get to you. It's annoying, but like you shouldn't take anything personally. You shouldn't take anything personally from anybody you're not personal with.
Yeah. What I wanted to say to the guys is just, oh, I wasn't prepared.
It's fine. Do you want us to come back to you and Vicky can make a
Yeah.
statement? All right, cool.
I
Vicky,
mean, you
go.
don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
I think we've had a lot of like we've discussed a lot in the podcast. So anybody could take something away from this.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. This was a very nice podcast of you guys complaining and then me taking notes on how to get a girl. I thank you very much. I
love
really
that.
appreciate. No,
I just
but
didn't want the whole podcast to sound like a huge rant, like just like
yeah.
oh I hate men, I hate men. It's like I'm really I was trying to think of other things to say, but this is like a podcast centered around how women are being treated, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you don't like that,
Mhm.
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you guys are
sorry.
fully in, you guys are fully in the
You
right
clicked on this.
to have had that.
Yeah.
Vicky, you were saying something, right?
Oh, I
Yeah.
was.
Were you?
The only thing I can
Maybe
say
not.
as like a last thing to get from this whole podcast, for me at least, is just live your life. Like,
Live and let
Okay.
live. I think is what
just
you're getting at.
don't like hate on someone for how like who they are. Like, holy God, just like be a human being and have some utter respect for someone. Like, geez, that's all I can say. Just live your life and try and make it a little bit better by being nice to someone.
I do want to say, it's okay to make mistakes. That guy that I knew made a huge mistake with one of his friends, but he learned from it. And I'm not saying bad actions are justified by learning from it. I'm saying that you you can learn from it and that's okay. You can make mistakes and you can learn from them. And you can apologize even though it won't ever make it go away. No one will ever forget it, but you have to learn to deal with that, learn from it and move on.
All right. And definitely, I do agree that like it does not justify it, but the first step to take is to learn from it and apologize. I think that's a really good thing to say.
Apologizing is hard for some people, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I like I'm gonna say this again. It like I have to be very careful with what I say. It does feel bad that we've kind of been shitting on guys this entire time.
And I have to say, like, that's not apologizing, saying that it's hard to apologize, that's not a misogyny thing. I hate saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, but I'm glad like
okay.
we could take a step in the right direction. Sorry,
We
continue.
are shitting on guys. But if you're offended by any of this, you're probably one of them.
Yeah.
Because we've also talked about how awesome it's been to like meet guys and like gamer people. Like I don't want to say like gamer guys because the connotation around like just gamer guys in general is like being at home in a basement, in your
Yep.
mom's basement, being
Yep.
like 30.
I wonder
we're
why.
saying-
God.
right, we're like saying like we've been really appreciative of the experiences we've had with like the guys on here, but just like a lot more like we've encountered a lot of negativity around it too. If you're offended by this, you're probably the problem.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely the problem.
You're not the problem to me. Please like and subscribe. And that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. What do you think of that transition?
10 out of 10.
We just
Yeah,
ran out of time.
beautiful.
So thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and we'll see you in the next stream. See ya. All right, cool.